Alright YouTube, this is 95Z28M6 here again, coming at you with a little different video. We're going to try something else here. Today what you see here is my wonderful Harbor Freight 20-gallon parts washer, and we have this wonderfully disgusting piston and rod assembly out of one of my LT1s. In the process of, I don't say rebuilding, but putting together another stock-ish engine, stock bottom end. Part of the process is cleaning and inspecting your rods and pistons. And yeah, this is quite tedious and boring, but I thought maybe one of you guys that's never done this would be interested to see how, at least my take on this process and what I do just to clean and check out one of these pistons. So the engine this is out of was for the most part in pretty sound mechanical shape. It was running. There was an issue with a head gasket, which warrants a trip to the machine shop to get the heads resurfaced. However, the bottom end, from what other than just being dirty and nasty, seems to be in good shape. As you can see, we have this powdered LT1 metal connecting rod here. The bearings have been removed. The rings have also been removed. And you just see lots of carbon buildup. Actually, you can already see it melting away from the solvent. So what I use for solvent here is a mixture of 2 gallons of simple green cleaning solution. And I believe I have about 4 gallons of just regular water in it. And it seems to be working pretty well. I mean, as you can see, I was just setting it in this, and it's already just eating the dirt and nastiness away, the grime and carbon buildup. So it's pretty cool. So basically what we're just going to get doing here is we're just going to start scrubbing away, and as we clean things off, we'll have a look at this piston and rod and see how it's going. Obviously there's no major issues. The rod is straight, that as far as I can tell. There does appear to be maybe some slight marks on the side of the piston skirt. That's definitely normal. So yeah, anyway, so we'll go ahead and get this turned on. And we'll start filling the piston here with fluid. As you can see, it's draining out the oil holes there. That's a good sign. Go ahead and take these guys off. And this is just the way that I've found that works well. There's probably 100 different ways to skin this cat, and this is just what works for me, and it's what I've always done, and probably what I will continue to do when I'm throwing together stock parts in a stockish engine. So already you can see a lot of the not so stuck on stuff has come right off. Already looks a heck of a lot better. And some of this stuck on carbon here, you might have to get a little more aggressive. I have this soft wire brush to use. I'm sure it's not the proper way to do it, but it does work for me, and it doesn't scratch the shit out of the piston. And I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've never had any ill effects from it. And honestly, like I said, these are stock parts, so not the end of the world if something gets messed up or it actually has to go to the machine shop and have a bottom end built in this thing. Probably wouldn't really break my heart any, so. Just keep on scrubbing there. Lighter brush. And also, this doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, these are stock parts, and they're just going back in this engine, so really isn't going to matter if it's 100% clean. I just don't like to put back together a greasy, nasty, dirty engine, if I can help it. Clean out these valve reliefs. They tend to get a lot of nasty carbon built up in there. Let's have a look here. This one seems to be in fairly good shape. I'm looking around the outside for chips and nicks, which I found in some of my other ones. This one doesn't seem to have any. Yeah, there's a little bit more staining there, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. All in all, I'd say the top of this piston looks okay. Close enough for government work, as they say. Now we get to turn our attention to the ring lands and the skirt and all that fun stuff. So I'd like to try to get some solvent in there. It really seems to help loosen everything up. And we'll just start scrubbing. If you can see the kind of machining marks, you can feel them. I can feel them with my fingers here. I always like to, when I have a brush, especially a metal brush, I always like to scrub with them, not across them. I don't really know if it makes a difference, but it seems a less sloppy way to do that, I guess. And we'll do the same thing here for these ring lands. Just kind of taking the carbon off. And as I'm doing this, I'm also looking for nicks, cracks, chunks out, missing, pretty much any damage or anything that looks out of place. And with the simple green, this really seems to come off pretty easy for the most part. There's a few stuck on parts and spots here and there, but not too bad. I'm just gonna run the brush in here and see how much of this crap I can knock loose. Really, this part here doesn't even hardly matter at all as far as how clean it is. Like I said, close enough for government work. Working on the side skirt here. Continue on. The sound could almost put you to sleep. Almost like watching Bob Ross from back in the day, the artist paints outdoor paintings, trees and mountains and stuff like that. If I just whisper into the microphone and move my brush like this, talk about the happy little piston, just gonna knock off the happy little carbon that lives here by this happy little wrist pin. So maybe I can be like Bob Ross, but alright, so I didn't see any major defects or issues. Now, a part that is fairly important, and I want to take some time here. I don't know if you can see, but inside these grooves here, there's carbon built up. And so we don't want carbon in here if we can help it. is to help the ring seal better. So you could use the right tool. They have a, I can't think of what it's called exactly, but it's a tool designed to clean out these rings. Or you can be cheap like me and break off a piece of a old piston ring. And that works just fine. So you just basically take it in here like this. I like to keep the solvent flowing in here. And just run it like that, basically. Get most of the carbon out. Carbon and junk and you just go all the way around. I usually save this to last, or for the last part, because something about the solvent just having a chance to sit in there and work seems to really help loosen it up. And if I can make your job easier, and awesome. So I don't know if you can see in there, maybe with the lighting, but this top one here is fairly clean. And once I'll go ahead and move on to the next one here. This is the oil ring here down at the bottom, and it's thicker. As you can see, there's a lot of crap in it, so this one I just kind of move back and forth a whole bunch. Try to knock off any large particles. There's the oiling hole that was draining out earlier when we filled this up. We want to make sure that's unplugged, which they all were. Because that's kind of important if you want to get oil on your cylinders and lubricate your piston. Get up in there. I hope this is coming across on this camera. I know the lighting is not the greatest, and truth be told, this GoPro is a bit old, even though it's new to me. I'm cheap, hence why I'm rebuilding this LT1 with stock parts, and so it's the only camera I have at the moment. And if you guys like these type of videos, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment saying you liked it. If you actually watched it all the way through this far and didn't get bored or fall asleep, that's cool. And let me know, and I'll try to make some more of these. I know it's not my usual thing doing these vlog videos. I'm just kind of starting it out and trying it and seeing how well it's doing, seeing if anybody likes it, see if it's something I should keep doing or if I should just stick to just making car videos, which I will still do that, of course, but okay, kind of start scrubbing in here a little bit. This is not critical. There's not large amounts of carbon and garbage all in here either, or just for my own satisfaction. Maybe your satisfaction if you made it this far in the video. Like I said, you could spend a long time trying to get these things perfectly clean, but honestly, there's not much point to it. There's probably not even much point to half of this cleaning I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to grab the big brush here, but it's just something I like to do. So a clean engine is a happy engine, maybe. With all the happy little pistons and rods. The 2-inch round brush here. We're just going to go ahead and paint a pretty little rod right here. Pretty little powdered metal connecting rod. Alright, so that's decently run off. Okay, go ahead and clean this journal. I don't see like big stuck on amounts of anything here. Yeah, like looks fairly okay. And like I said, the whole time I'm checking this rod, checking for deformations. You know, if it's bent or twisted or something's not right. Usually it's pretty easy to tell. So here's the cap. Go ahead and get the smaller brush. Start scrubbing away. Like I said, the bottom end of these pistons aren't usually dirty. There's usually maybe some nasty oil on it. This thing, like I said, had a head gasket issue. Therefore, a lot of these, when I first pulled them out, were covered in milkshake, brown and green, nasty, muddy goo. That was pretty disgusting. So yeah, so basically this bottom end is just getting new rings and bearings, and of course I'm putting my my top end on it, my LE2 heads and ported intake, and the LE 2.2 cam. And you know, as long as I don't spend the thing over $6 grand, that should be good. So, all right, let's see. You can see those oil holes draining again. Yeah. So there we have it. You have yourself a wonderfully semi-clean or clean enough piston and rod assembly. And so we're going to go ahead and shut the machine off. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and take these things, and I have a little bucket of water, and I just dunk it in the bucket of water, rinse all the rest of the solvent off, and usually just let it dry. So, and then before I assemble everything, I'll probably spray it all down with brake cleaner just one more time before it goes in, just to be sure there's no contaminants on it. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, shoot me a like. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's over somewhere, depending what device you're on. And go ahead and leave me a comment. Tell me you liked it. And if you think it sucked, leave me a comment and tell me it sucked and you never want to watch my videos again. That's cool too. So until the next time, 95Z28M6. Stay classy, YouTube.